Questions 13 through 15 refer to the image below. This is of Liu Guanzhou during Yuan Dynasty, Chinese court painter, whiling away the summer, painted scroll, circa 1280. The image depicts a Chinese Confucian scholar and two female attendants. Question 13. The image can best be used as a source of information about the A. Social prestige of the established educational elites in Chinese society under the Mongol rule. B. Influence of Christian missionaries in Mongol-controlled China. C. The high status of wealthy merchants in traditional Chinese society. Or D. The increased importance of Mongol Buddhism and shamanism in Chinese society under Yuan. Question 14. Which of the following historical continuities is best reflected in the image? A. Chinese art reflected European methods of painting. B. Chinese art continued to emphasize traditional subjects and styles. C. Chinese art incorporated elements of Central Asian nomadic life. D. Chinese art continued to stress the importance of technological innovations. Continue on to the next page. Question 15. In addition to China, the cultural traditions alluded to in Liu Guanzhou's painting strongly influenced the society and culture of A. The Ottoman Empire, B. India, C. Persia, D. Korea. Go on to the next page. Questions 16 through 19 refer to the passage below. Many Ottoman Sunni religious scholars have labeled the Sufi whirling rituals, the religious observances practiced by some Sufis in the Ottoman Empire, as dancing, and have pronounced them forbidden, branding those who approve of them as infidels. The Sufis counter that these rituals are not dancing, arguing instead that they enliven the soul through a combination of music and movement, which they say allows them to focus on the spiritual aspects of religion. The common people flock to the Sufis, giving them offerings and gifts. Since their whirling rituals play a big part in their popularity, they will not abandon these practices anytime soon. The Sunni scholars have written many tracts and opinions against them, and this tug of war between the two parties has brought them into a vicious circle. Khatib Kalibi, Ottoman official in The Balance of Truth, a philosophical and scientific treatise, in 1656. Question 16. Which of the following conclusions regarding the Ottoman Empire is best supported by the passage? A. Ottoman policies sought to limit the activities of some religious groups. B. Many members of the Ottoman religious establishment practiced Sufism. C. Ottoman rulers promoted an inclusive and tolerant interpretation of Islamic doctrine. D. Ottoman policies towards Sufism created conflicts between the Ottoman Empire and other Muslim states. Question 17. Which of the following most directly strengthened the Sufi religious scholars' role as official interpreters of Islamic doctrine within the Ottoman Empire as suggested by the passage? A. The establishment of Mughal Empire in India. B. The Ottoman conquest of Constantinople. C. Ottoman sultans' extensive conquest in Europe. Or D. The Ottoman Empire's rivalry with the Safavid Empire. Question 18. The author's position on the religious controversy in this passage can best be described as that of A. A strong supporter of official Ottoman religious establishment. B. An impartial observer describing the controversy taken without staking sides, pardon me. C, a practitioner of the Sufi way with its emphasis on increased spirituality. D, an advocate of the right of the people to freely choose their own religion. Question 19. Outside of the Ottoman Empire, Sufis contributed most directly to which of the following during the period before 1750? A. Scientific exchanges between the Muslim world and the rest of Afro-Eurasia. B. The establishment of Arabic as the language of philosophy and theology in the Muslim world. C. The spread of Islam to new locations on the margins of the Muslim world, such as Southeast Asia. Or D. The introduction of new practices for recruiting and training slave soldiers in Muslim states, such as the Mughal Empire. Go on to the next page. Question 20 through 23 refer to the image below. This is Japanese fumiye, a stepping on picture, which is a type of metal plate carved with Christian imagery used by the Japanese government to identify suspected Christians circa 1630. Japanese authorities required suspected Japanese Christians to tread on fumiye plates based on the beliefs that Christians would refuse to disrespect images of Jesus Christ and other Christian religious figures. Go on to the next page. Question 20. The object shown in the image is best understood in the context of which of the following developments between 1450 and 1750? A. The introduction of Chinese religious and cultural influences in Japan. B. The fall of the Tokugawa shogunate and the restoration of direct imperial rule. C. The growth of Russian cultural influence in East Asia as a result of the Russian expansion into Siberia. Or D. The influence of European merchants and missionaries along Asian maritime trade routes. Question 21. The use of objects such as the ones shown in the image best illustrate which of the following historical processes from 1450 to 1750. A. Some Asian states sought to limit foreign encroachment into their internal affairs. B. Political leaders in Asia commissioned works of art to legitimize their rule. C. Religious conversion by state rulers was often followed by the mass conversion of state populations. D. The territorial expansion of Asian land-based empires limited European influence in many parts of Asia. (22) In the late 19th century, Japanese attitudes towards European cultural influences changed as a direct result of A. Japanese isolating its economy from trade with Western markets. B. Japan enacting political reforms during the Meiji era. C. Japan defeating China in the First Sino-Japanese War. D. Japan extending its empire over most of Southeast Asia. Question 23. In which of the following regions between 1450 and 1750 was Christian missionary activity met with the least amount of resistance by non-European states? A. The Americas. B. The Middle East. C. The Indian subcontinent. D. Central Asia. Go on to the next page. Questions 24 through 27 refer to the passage below. The last will and testament I, Ana de São Jose de Trinidad, Roman Catholic, since baptism, always firm in the faith of the Catholic religion, declare the present will in the following manner. I declare that I was born on the coast of Africa, from where I was transported to the states of Brazil and the city of Salvador, in the state of Bahia, where I have lived until the present. I was a slave of Theodosia Maria de Cruz, who bought me as part of a parcel of slaves, and who freed me from the amount of 100 mil-réis, the currency unit in colonial Brazil, which I gave her in cash. As a freed woman, I have enjoyed this same freedom without the least opposition until the present time. I declare that I was never married and always remained single, and in this state I had 5 children. I declare that the goods I possess are the following: a slave by the name of Maria, whom I leave conditionally freed in the amount of 60 mil-réis, to be paid to my granddaughter. I also possess a group of 2-story houses with shops at street level, and a basement below with lodgings, located on the Ladeira do Corvo, where I live on land belonging to me. This comes from Ana de São Jose de Trinidad, Afro-Brazilian woman, Last Will and Testament, 1823. Question 24. The passage best illustrates which of the following features of colonial Latin American history? A. Racial categories were used to divide colonial societies. B. Christian religious practices were shared by many social groups. C. Plantain agriculture dominated economic production. D. Competition between European states influenced colonialism. 25. The passage best supports which of the following statements? A. A small number of women were able to acquire wealth and property on their own. B. Slaves were permitted to maintain families of their own. C. Women contributed to the family income by weaving textiles. D. Women were the legal heads of household in most families. Go on to the next page. 26. As described in the passage, Ana de Trinidad's life differed from a typical experience of newly arrived slaves in colonial Latin America in that she was A. Transported to Brazil, B. Baptized as a Christian, C. Born in Africa, D. Able to purchase her own freedom. 27. Which of the following was the most significant change in Latin American labor systems between the time the document was produced and 1900? A. Slavery was abolished in all Latin American countries. B. Many Latin American countries industrialized. C. Indentured servitude became the main source of labor in most Latin American countries. D. Most Latin American countries passed laws limiting the labor of women and children. We will go on to the next page and go on to the next video for the next set of questions.